Hello guys, welcome to LawPutra YouTube channel, and our today's topic is the difference between 498A of IPC and Domestic Violence Act 2005. So now coming to the differences, the main difference between 498A and Domestic Violence Act is their scope, their objective. So first of all, 498A specifically deals with cruelty against married women, and it also covers pestering women for demanding dowry. But Domestic Violence Act is covering a wide range of abusive behavior in a domestic situation. And the next difference is who can be a victim under these two acts. Under 498A, a married woman is a victim. Under Domestic Violence Act, any woman who is in a domestic relationship can be a victim. So it can include live-in relationships also. Now let us look at their differences in punishment. Under 498A, an offence can be punished with up to 3 years of imprisonment and fine. Under Domestic Violence Act also, a person or an offence can be punished with up to 3 years of imprisonment and fine, and also if any specific compensation directed by the judge or any remedy directed by the judge. Let us look at who can be prosecuted. Under 498A, the husband or the relatives of the husband can be prosecuted. But under Domestic Violence Act, any adult male person who is in a domestic relationship can be prosecuted. Now let us look at the similarities between them. First of all, both of them are for the protection of women against harassment and abuse within the family. And the next one is both of them are cognizable and non-bailable offences, which means that police can arrest them without a warrant and they cannot be released on bail without court order. And the next one is both of them provides punishment for the accused and the offences. And the next one is both of them have legal remedies. Both of them covers scope such as physical abuse, sexual abuse, and emotional abuse. Come to a very interesting question from this topic. Does verbal abuse amount to domestic violence? Yes. The answer is yes. When people hear about domestic violence, they usually tend to limit it to physical violence, especially in the sense of what remains visible. But the idea of verbal abuse doesn't often come up. This leads to the normalization of the impact of verbal abuse. However, domestic violence usually starts with a verbal form of abuse before becoming a full-blown pattern of violence. Section 3 of the Domestic Violence Act includes verbal violence as a form of domestic violence. This makes verbal abuse as a legally recognizable mode of domestic violence against women, because verbal abuse can directly destroy a person from inside, harm their psychological spirit, and cause trauma and depression. Next question is, which section can be applied when cruelty leads to death of a woman? In cases where the cruelty done for the demand for dowry leads to the woman's death within 7 years of marriage and under abnormal circumstances, the police can file a case under Section 304B IPC. Under 304B, a person can be imprisoned for dowry death for a term not less than 7 years, and it can extend to life imprisonment. In the recent years, it was observed that Section 498A of IPC was grossly misused by women against men. So, the Supreme Court has given certain guidelines to prevent the misuse. In the case of Chandraban vs. State, the Honorable Supreme Court introduced the following steps. Police endeavor should carefully screen complaints and then register FIR. No case should be registered under 498A or 406 IPC without the prior authorization of DCP or additional DCP. Before FIR registration, all possible reconciliation efforts should be made, and if it is found that there is no possibility of settlement, necessary steps should be taken in the first instance to ensure that Stridhan and dowry articles are returned to the complainant. The arrest of the key accused can only be made after a proper investigation and with the prior approval of the ACP or DCP has been performed. In the case of collateral, accused such as in-laws, prior approval of DCP should be there on the file. Thank you for watching, guys. Please hit the like button and subscribe to LawPutra.